Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's dedicated towards creating narcissistic abuse awareness, more so from a biblical standpoint. Today I'll be looking at one of the abusive tactics and literally something one will encounter when they are with a narcissist or they have been with a narcissist. And that is isolation. Isolation is a move narcissists will always carry out on their victims or target in order to take them away from their support base. People live narcissistic manipulationships. Many times you'll find that they isolate themselves and they cannot trust people because they do not know who to trust at that point. Narcissists are going to isolate people for a number of reasons. I wrote down a couple. One, they always want to control the perception of their victims, and in so doing, the victims start relying on them and not their own perception. Two, they want to control the narrative of the victim's life. So each and every decision being made is based on what the narcissist thinks. They control the narrative of how, the wheres, the whos. So you find that everything literally goes round them. Another reason is usually to do away with your support system. These are usually family and friends. The ones who they tend to notice the abuse almost immediately, and they will be advocating for you to get out. You'll also find that during this time they are calling out on the narcissist. The narcissist hates it. Someone is looking out for you and they hate it. They want to be the ones to be the alpha and omega in your life. The last but not the least, these people here will always isolate you so that you do not reveal to the public who they are, because the people next to them, the people who live with them, know them. And once you're living with them, it means people believe the person who is living with them. So the best way to do away with you who knows them is to isolate you. Now the number of ways these people are going to isolate you. I'm going to run through a number because some of them we've looked at them in depth in some other videos. So like the gaslighting. These people here, number one, they'll gaslight you. They'll gaslight you by always making you question your reality. They say one thing, and when you confront them about that one thing, they deny it. So you're left perplexed and doubting yourself. I encourage you to look up the gaslighting video. Two, they'll love bomb you. Narcissists love to love bomb. Look up that video too. They'll give you this attention. They'll put you on this pedestal and you're like, you're on top of the world. The world is at your feet, literally. They are love bombing you that way. You'll find that they are keeping away your support group. They're ever taking you up and down. You're going on trips, you're visiting places, things of that nature. So in the end, you find that you're caught up in their world and not family or friends. This may appear romantic, but that spending a lot of time with you is actually another way of drawing you away from your family and friends. Three, this is especially among the coverts. You'll find that they may not tell you outrightly that they do not like your family or friends, but they'll start telling you that you're spending a lot of time with so and so. You're not giving me enough attention. You prefer your friends to me. You start feeling guilty, maybe that you are, and then you start toning down on your presence with your friends and family. That way, they're isolating you. Four, they'll triangulate you. Triangulation is where they'll take information from you to the third party. And this third party is either your friend or your family. Sometimes it may be actually false information. They come up with their own lies. They'll take a false narrative to your family and friends. Then they bring you feedback like you'd asked. And that way you people, if you do not talk, you can actually have a cold war. That way you get isolated. Five, these people belittle you. Someone who is verbally abusive, you never do anything right. They are insulting you, they are name calling and all that. It takes a toll on your esteem. And you start thinking you are all the negative things you're hearing. That way you won't want to hang out with your friends and family. Six, intermittent reinforcement. Intermittent reinforcement is where you find that they will give you moments of love bombing, then after a while they will devalue you. So you're in this roller coaster ride of emotions, of good and bad. So in the end, you'll start expecting the good. You'll stay around during the difficult times, the devaluation time, awaiting the love bombing, all because you're thinking maybe I did it too much, maybe I overstepped the boundary, and that way you're like, by the last time you didn't like so and so, let me not step out of line. In that way, you start isolating yourself. 7, they start criticizing your hobbies, and they are complaining maybe you're doing it too much, you're not spending time with him or her. Avoid the whole hassle of arguments and point of contention. Let me stop doing whatever I'm doing, whether they're swimming, biking, hiking, you name it. In the end, you just stop doing whatever you or you've always loved, in the name of love, in the name of peace and tranquility. 8, you'll find that they may stop you from getting new friends. They'll interrogate you continuously about, who was that lady you're talking with? Who was that lady who called you? Who was, it's ever who was that? I do not want you to make new friends in this place. I don't trust those people. I don't trust so and so. In the end, like, they just literally are blocking any passage for you in forming any friendships. And sometimes outrightly, they'll tell you they do not want you to make any friends. And for you, for the sake of peace in the relationship, you go by it. 9, they'll sabotage your career. These are people, let's say if you're working, they'll tell you stop working, let me be the breadwinner. You come and cater to the family's needs, the kids need you at home, you're a great mother. So leave the job, come and stay home with the kids. You come and stay home with the kids, and the rest is history. The abuse intensifies at that point, because they do not want you to communicate with your friends at work, or they are cutting you off that way from your career. The less company you have to talk to. And also another thing is that they can promise you an education. They'll keep promising you and they don't fulfill it. In the end, you just give up. That way you find that they sabotage your career just like that. So it takes a toll on you, really. But what was their end game? To isolate you and control you. The last but not the least, 10, having violent outbursts. These people, remember, they experience the narcissistic injury, which births the narcissistic rage. These people here will go off the handle. They are breaking things. They are beating you up. And in that way, because of that constant violence, you start trying to hide it away from your friends and family who will come to your aid. And sometimes they are too quick to apologize for what they have done. So in the end, you just drop the issue. The book of Mark chapter 5, I encourage you to read from 1 to 20. There was this demon-possessed man who was living in the rocky areas, and Jesus restored him from the demonic possession he was under. One thing you'll notice about these demons here, demons love to isolate you. Don't get me wrong, isolation is very good if you're seeking the face of God. I mean, as you're seeking the face of God, you are getting oiled, you are being anointed, you are wet, if I may. The thing about a narcissist, I can equate a narcissist to a demonic possession, because these people are dry on the inside. Demons love dry ground. They isolated this man here, made him cut himself with stones. He would fight people like a rabid dog. Demons love to do that. Demons love to terrorize you. They are there to torture you. When you're seeking the face of God, it's a different story. There's peace, there's joy, there's tranquility, there's revelation there as he's revealing himself to you. For the demonic side, you'll find that these ones are there just to torment you. And the narcissist is there to torment you, because that is their being. They are cold, they are dark on the inside, they are godless in nature. Dark soul torments. This isolation period narcissists are gearing towards, it is there. They are going to start tormenting you, just like the way the demons were tormenting this man, to the point that he was cutting himself. And this will now take me into some of the effects of the narcissistic isolation. You'll find that You start developing suicidal ideation. You regret everything. You think you're nothing. You want to kill yourself. 2, this stifles your voice. You cannot talk about your pains and hurts because you do not want to hurt him. At the same time, there's no one to run to who could be a listening ear to your issues or give you a shoulder to lean on during these hard times. The abuse intensifies. These people are after your soul. They love to break people. They love the energy. They are energy vampires. They suck it out of you, and once you're left lifeless, they discard you. So for them, it is all about power and control. The isolation move is to dominate you. And yet, right at the beginning, we realize that Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 to 29, I believe, God talks of God tells man to rule over the fish, the birds, the beasts, and all that, not to rule over each other. That control came about after the fall. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, I believe, around there. So you find that it was all about control. The control came about after the fall. So a person who is isolating you to control you has got a dark force behind them. Do yourself a great favor. Avoid these people at all costs. Always entertain your friends. Keep communication lines open at all times. This is very common. Taking you away from a place, or maybe a district, or even a country, to a place where you don't know anyone, but they very fast try and form friendships. Be very mindful. Then another thing is that always see to it that you continue carrying out activities, your hobbies with your friends. This will keep you surrounded by people who are team you and they're there to build you up, not to leave you on your own. Remember, whoever tries to isolate you from your friends and family, these are genuine friends and family. Be very cautious about such people. They are out to control you. We are not supposed to control each other. We are supposed to reciprocate respect. Thank you so much for watching. Blessings.